Hi guys, welcome to Mandy Pinecone Crafts. Today is Sunday, May 14th, 2017. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope everybody has enjoyed their Mother's Day weekend. Um, it's it was a busy one here. So let's start in with the works in progress. I don't have any finished objects to actually show you. The only thing I've actually finished since I recorded last was a bunch of onesies for my sister's baby shower. So she has all those, and there's that. So I think right after I recorded last, I cast on the Campsite Cardigan by Alicia Plummer. It is this cute open front cardigan that has some cute eyelet sections. I'm using Malabrigo Arroyo in their Palmo color. So there's that. So it's a nice, actually that's really true to color. And like I said, these are knit on 7/8 and I think 5s. Yeah, 7/8 5s, because the button band and cuffs and bottom band are done on the speller needle, while 2 sections of the eyelets are done in the bigger size, which is the 8, because I've got there's 4 sections of eyelets. I'm on the, I think, first repeat or second repeat of the first repeat of the last section. So there's that. This is actually in not timeout, in the corner until I can actually finish some other projects that need to be done sooner. So there's that. The other thing I've got is out of some Princess Mandy by Fire Stash. This is her Strong Toes base, which is 80% merino, 20% nylon. I think it's an 80-20. It is a pair of Running Through socks by Brandy Miller. I've got a pattern repeat. This is actually the second sock. I finished the first Friday night. And so when I was at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool yesterday, I gave it to Christy for boot samples, what these are. And these are knit on US size 1s, which are 2.25. So that was what I was able to get done Friday night, and then yesterday. Didn't knit much. Even though it was a 3-hour car trip, it all depends on who's driving. I can't really knit in the car or I get car sick. And that is living in my Stitch Together 4G bag, which has the pinks matching. So that's why it's living in that bag, which is a nice drawstring. The other sweater that I'm working on is living in a Tangled Skein CA bag. It is the So Faded by Andrea More, which is this pretty sweater that has garter like just on the shoulder, and you actually use as many yarns as you want, and you fade them in and out. It's a paid for pattern, so that's as much as I'm gonna go into. It is knit top down, and I am using, of course, Fiber Stash. I'm just about to join in the round because there's it's got like a V-neck, but I decided that I wasn't in love with the garter just on the sleeves, so I'm just doing the sleeves stocking out. So this is the Petunia colorway, I think. I can't remember which ones I've got. Yes, Petunia. And that's Christy's card. So yeah, it is, and this is her Twinkle Toes, which is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% twinkle. The next color is going to be her Toil and Trouble, which has the, oh, you can see the twinkle, which has got the pink, the black, orange, and some white. So after that, I'm going to put in this one, which is Chalkboard. And then the last one is it Jailhouse Rock or Jailhouse? I think it's Jailhouse. So it will go, that will be the bottom. So that will be the sweater. And I think I'm doing like 4 inches of, or no, 5 inches of each color. So yeah, that's, I really like how it's going to work up. I debated actually using a shade lighter than this for the bottom, but it was too light. Which the shade lighter is the Great Scott. I've got another sweater picked out for that. Yeah, it's Jailhouse Rock. And that is Fiber Stash, and you can find them online at Fiber Stash VT, or if you're actually local to the Burlington area, Must Love Yarn carries their yarn, or you can catch them. I think they've got they're done with their spring shows as of today, and then they've got a couple, like 3 in the fall. They do Southern Adirondack, Vermont Sheep and Wool, and then I think it's a New England Fiber Festival at the Biggie in the beginning of November, I think, or the end of October. But I love her yarn. So there's that. But what's taken most of my time is the cross stitch that I'm doing for my friend Tanya for her wedding. When you guys saw it last, I was like on the body here, I think. So or it might have been over here in the tail. I don't remember exactly. I know I didn't have the head of the bird. Actually, yeah, I was somewhere over here, I think. I'm pretty sure. So I've got this whole bird done. I've got this one done. All I've got left is 2 pages here to finish the one up here, and then 2 pages here. The 2 on the bottom here are what's going to take most of the time, because I'm actually reworking the pattern down there to actually make them look like oak leaves instead of like leaves like this, to go with Tanya's wedding more, because her wedding shawl is actually has oak leaves. Her wedding bands, I think, are going to have oak leaves. So it's a nice way. And then when I got this page, I figured something out. I grabbed the wrong piece of fabric, because if you actually see here, I'm, I think, 2 stitches away from the edge of the sheet. Yeah, I cut 2 or 3 different pieces of fabric and grabbed the wrong one when I started this, and I was not gonna rip out to restart, so I actually just sewed pieces on the ends just to put it on the Q-snap frame. Actually, when I'm thinking of that, let me grab my PVC pipe frame. This is actually a finished object, a start and finish. I've got a 11 by 17, yes, 11 by 17 Q-snap, and then the 11 by 11. So I work in a hardware store, I bought some more PVC and made another 11 by 11 lap stand. And then my lovely paint reps were resetting our spray paint aisle. They hadn't even got it set when I was walking through. I don't even know why. I had to go through the front or something, so I always cut down the spray paint aisle because it's the easiest one to go to our customer service desk. So I was looking at what paint was going out, and I found they were putting out this one. And I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but it is actually a metallic pink. It's showing up a little bit. So I had to pick up a can and spray painted both of my stands that color. And I'm drinking just some sparkling clementine juice from Trader Joe's. So there's that. The other project is actually a new one as of, what day? I worked Friday, Thursday night. Was it last weekend? A week and a half ago? Yeah, a week and a half ago. A good friend of ours was over to have my husband try on an outfit for part of their wedding that he's a part of. So I was stitching on Tanya's wedding piece, and he was commenting he made a comment of, how do I know what I'm doing? So I showed him, he goes, but they just look like dots on them. There's grids here, there's no grids here. So he was amazed. So I decided that I wanted to make a cross stitch special for him and his fiance. She is actually from West Ghana in the west, which is part of West Africa. And then she moved here, I don't know. So they're doing a traditional American wedding and the Ghana wedding. So it's going to be fun. So I was searching, I think that night or the next night, I was searching Etsy looking for patterns to do for them. And I came across it's a Dutch Etsy seller that does, state, country, and provenance outlines, plus they've got a couple other work patterns, things like that. So I picked up the pattern to do Vermont and Ghana. Vermont I actually did in the outline in red and white, and then the heart in the middle where the capital Montpelier is in blue. And then these actually all have sparkle, subtle sparkle blended in with them. And then I am actually in the middle of working on Ghana, and I've got the top, the one side, and then the bottom, and then the heart for the capital of theirs is in the black, because the Ghana flag is red, yellow, green with a black star. So I did the black heart. So in the needle minders on this one is from this heart. Leaf is from No Name Needle Minders, and this one in the state of Vermont is from this is Minding My Minders. And this is actually on a piece of 16 count Ada by Picture This Plus in the Marriage color, which is a subtle grayish, medium gray color. So there is that. That is actually working up quickly. I started it Thursday night. I was able to get Vermont done Thursday at work. Or Friday at work. And then started Ghana. And then I'll finish the next color. I'll add the red here and then go up the rest of it. And I might, depending on how much room I have here, I haven't decided if I'm actually putting names and date or just date. It all depends on how much room I have here and here. And then I'll have to figure out how I'm going to finish that off. So there is that. The only other thing I've actually done is I've done a little bit of spinning. I think the last time you guys saw it was I was on like a light green, so I've done the dark green, the light blue, and the dark blue, and it's spinning up somewhat. Then I'm going to actually chain ply this when I get done. I've got a little bit of blue left, and then 3 other colors. And this is some BFL by that. Oh, excuse me. That's part of my 3 feet of sheep. By Wonderland Yarns, I think. So there's that. Oops, sorry. So let's get into enabling. So when I ordered the Krennic for the state of Vermont and Ghana, I ordered some extra. I've ordered through 1 through 3 in the fabric. I ordered through 1 2 3 stitch online, and so I got also a pink one because hello, it's pink. And these are blending filaments, so they're really thin. They're made to be used with 2 strands of DMC. So that's what I did. You can either use it 2 strands in DMC and stitch the whole stitch, or you can stitch everything and just go over your top leg with it to give it a little more shimmer. So there's that. And then I picked up another piece because I was debating on the fabric for that. I wasn't sure if the color would actually work for what I wanted, so I actually also picked up a 18 count. This is also a picture of this plus in Sprite. It is a pale purpley pink. And just because I wanted to, I got an 18 count white opalescent Ada by Witchell, just to see, because I have a project in mind for that, because I actually I want to do the Vermont and New York for me, and I'm thinking of putting it on this, but I'm not sure. And then I placed 2 orders with No Name Needle Minders because she was having some really good sales. So first is when she came out with her Countess size, which are these are 1-inch tiles. So I got a Winnie the Pooh, a crochet. This one says coffee is a hug in a mug. This one says drink coffee and read good books. You've got a knit. And then she sent me a heart, and then I just got an order in Friday of a bunch of ones for gifts. But I also got the Capricorn zodiac symbol, and then she sent this lovely paper fan, as she always sends an extra, which is really nice of her. And you can find her on Facebook if you search No Name Needle Minders in groups. Dawn of Cupcake Yarns is doing her Disney Yarn Club again, so I signed up for that, and it's Cupcake Yarns on Etsy. And this is the first month, which is Cheshire Cat, Cheshire Grin. and this is her Yummy base. I really like her, how her yarn wears her socks. That's what most of my socks are out of, I want to say, a good portion. Because I really like her self-striping yarn. And yeah, and then she always sends some sort of goodie that goes along with it. So this month was a mini skein for heels and toes that is actually made to look like the Cheshire Cat's grin. So there's that. I'm just trying to figure I'd gone to when I got to Must Love Yarn. I needed something. So I picked up a skein of Farmer Stash in her Twinkle Toes. And this is gunmetal, I think. And I need to actually do a test knit for Brandy Eat My Yarns for a hat pattern out of this at some point. I'm sorry, Brandy, I haven't forgot about you. And then I also picked up some of her BFL. In these colors, these are actually the same colors that are my first running through socks, which was one of her sock blanks. And it's Fiber Stash. There's that. In the created by Elsa B Facebook group, she was saying she dyed up more of this, which is Fairy Dreams, and this is on her Polworth base, so I had to get that, and then also this one. And I'm just making sure. Yeah, the rest of this is New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. So this weekend was New Hampshire Sheep and Wool in Deerfield, New Hampshire. It is about 3 hours south of where I am. So it's a nice day trip. So I drove down with Michael, the Gay Knitter of the Gay Knitter podcast. And we took his 13-year-old niece with us just to get her out of the house. So this is the book from this year. I actually have last year somewhere floating around my house because I don't throw them out. So we got there just in time for the podcaster meetup, which was Claire of the New Hampshire Knits podcast actually put together. And she also does the Woolly Thistle shop, so she gave us buttons and a bag. Woolly Thistle does like I think it's Hayas and some of the British vinyls, and she's really good. I've ordered from her last year after New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, and then also there was Pearl and Plum, which is a new mother and daughter podcast. She also has a Etsy shop. She gave everybody some colored locking stitch markers. And a button. She's a relatively new podcaster. I think she said she has 5 episodes out. She does it with her daughter, which is in Scotland. So that will be a fun one there. And then also there was, I also got to see Heather 01851. She made some Shrinky Dink stitch markers, so I got one that has a sheep hat. So that was fun to see some people talk with people that I saw last year. Also Jen of the Storm Coast of the Uncreative Crafter was there. So I got to see her and spend a good portion of the day with her. She was helping in the fiber stash booth, which was right across from the podcaster meetup, where they were having the podcaster meetup this year. So when we got there, we had her walk around with us. We went and just walked around the booth, did a little, just about a lap, most of the upper vendors, because it's broken up into 2 vendor barns and then 2 barns for animals. So we walked through there. We got to see some amazing sheep and cute little lambs and some really cute alpacas and bunny or angoras and things like that. So we got to pet those. It was fun to walk around. Jen was looking for a Turkish spindle, so we'd walked up and around in the upper buildings and then stopped at the Spunky Eclectic booth. And I don't know if you guys can actually read this. No, my phone's not going to show you. But it's in really light letters. It says, "We poop rainbows and smell like butterflies." So that is cute. So from there, I picked up a Turkish spindle. Mine actually matches. Jen and I are spindle twinsies, because we both picked up a spindle, and we had to ask if pieces were interchangeable, because they had a light and a dark. I really like mixing wood tones. My chest that the phone is sitting on and a couple other things actually in my house have the mixture of different woods, which I like. So we each traded a leg. She ended up with the leg that you slide through of the light one, and I ended up with the dark one. So her shaft and other leg are the dark, and then she has a light top leg. And I've just been sitting here just playing with it because I wanted to actually show people what I picked up before I actually started spinning on this, because one of the things that I got in New Hampshire, I want to actually spin on this. Also, I'm thinking of it, from Jen graciously gave me a mug that she picked up at Ocean State Job Lot, I think, that has ribbing with cables. And this is actually a coffee cup size. I've got a soup mug that actually holds my teas in the cupboard in the same color with a similar pattern from her. So from there we walked down to the lower building, which has an upper and bottom floor, and we walked through the upper floor first. And we were walking through and she goes, we were walking through, and she made a comment that I've got to see this one booth that does really cute pottery mugs. And it was Blue Bunny Pottery, I think. They have these really cute pottery. So I'd stopped in and picked up, was looking around, and I had to pick up this little penguin because he was cute. It's just a unglazed little wooden penguin, or little clay penguin, and they actually package them really nice in these little takeout boxes. So there's that, and then I think the next, or 2 booths down from that, Jen there had open bags of fiber, and Jen just told me to stick my hand in it. Yeah, stick my hand in it. And it had to come home with me. It is this lovely brown, black Shetland, Finnish Shetland 4-ounce bump. It is really soft. I haven't spun either one, so it was sticking. I was trying to buy things from vendors, new vendors, or ones that I've actually, and or things I haven't tried before. So I haven't spun any Finn or Shetland. From there we walked down to the lower building, and in the lower building I had, at the beginning of the when we got there, or some point when we got there, I handed Jen some cash and go, I want you to buy something out of my comfort zone, my color choices, because we were on a VKN, I think, last Saturday, and we were talking about what our comfort zone for colors are, what colors we're drawn to. And for me, it's the pinks, the purples, things like that are my happy place. So I had given Jen some cash to pick up things that I normally wouldn't buy myself. So we were in the Mad Color booth, and I was looking at this lovely braid. It is 80% merino, 20% tinsel, and it is, or black tinsel. So it is this teal and gray with the stripes of the black tinsel. This is nowhere near my color palette, but it's pretty. I'd picked it up and I was looking at it, and so Jen decided this was one of the things. And then I'd also picked up this and put it back because I was trying to buy things that weren't my color palette, just to have something variety, because I have a lot of pinks and purples fibers, just because that's what I like. So she picked up this one for me. This is my birthday present from her. It is 40% merino, 40% superwash merino, 20% silk. In a braid, it is called Life is Short and You Are Hot. And it is this beautiful sunset gradient color. And it has nice and soft and squishy. And I really like it, so thank you, Jen. From there, we walked around, they was looking at different things, and then when we were walking through, we walked by Katringles, and so I had to go back to their booth because I knew I wanted either a small nitty knotty or a wraps per inch gauge. So I picked up a wraps per inch gauge with a sheet piece. I've got a paper one somewhere in the house, but this one is actually going to go in in with my wheel, or in the bag that has my notions for spinning. So I picked up that, and then I had to do my purchases from Fiber Stash. I knew there were things I wanted to pick up. So when we first got there, I found 2 of them, put them aside, figuring I'd come back and buy, depending on what I had for money left, I would come back and buy those and more. I had a budget for her booth, and then I had a budget for everybody else. So the first thing I picked up was her Beauty and the Beast mini skein set, which is, she says strong toes, but that's her twinkle toes, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. This one is, you've got the Beast, This is Bluebird. This is And Summer Greek. This is Tale as Old as Time, and then this is Beauty. I really like how, if you've actually seen the new movie, this is from the blue. This one is taken from the blue dress that she wears in the beginning of the movie, and then you have the dancing scene, which is that lovely floral dress, and then this one is Some Like a Greek, is when the Beast is showing Belle the castle library, and she asks the Beast if he has read all the books, and he goes no, in some are in Greek. So there's that. And then the other thing I picked up was a sock blank, so I'm gonna. It says one of her sock blanks, and this one is going to be my next pair of socks. So, F off, I'm knitting. So there was that one, and then I knew I wanted to pick up one of her sock blanks as a gift for my friend Dawn. So these colors scream her, and so this one says Hot Mess, and it is, her sock blanks are amazing. I've knit one other one, and it's going to be fun if you guys get a chance to actually get one of her sock blanks. She actually has some at Must Love Yarn, and then I don't know if she's going to put any up online, but you can always message her on Instagram, Ravelry, wherever, and see if she has any sock blanks, because there are some really pretty ones. It was hard to buy the two of them. So there is that. That's all that's been going on, other than work. Work is picking up, getting busier. So have a good couple weeks. Bye.